In this life, our actions not only impact the present but also leave deep imprints on the future. Every deed, whether good or bad, brings its corresponding result, whether we believe it or not. Let's explore a thought-provoking story about karma, based on the second verse from the Dhammapada. The verse "The polluted mind brings suffering, the purified mind brings peace" reflects a deep truth about human existence. Our mind is the root of all our actions, emotions, and experiences. When the mind is clouded by negative thoughts, desires, and emotions such as greed, anger, and delusion, it leads to suffering not only for ourselves but also for those around us. This suffering manifests in various forms, from emotional pain to physical consequences in our lives. However, when we cultivate a pure mind, one that is free from these defilements and is filled with compassion, kindness, and wisdom, it brings peace and happiness. Inner peace is not something that can be bought or gained externally, it arises from the clarity and purity of our own thoughts and intentions. This teaching encourages us to look inward, to purify our minds, and through that, to find true peace and freedom from suffering. Today, we will explore a profound story about the law of karma, as explained in the Dhammapada. This story illustrates how our actions, whether good or bad, always come back to us in time. Karma is not a punishment, but a natural law of cause and effect. What we do today shapes our tomorrow, just as a seed planted today grows into a tree in the future. Through this story, we will witness the inevitable consequences of a polluted mind, and how purification of the heart can lead to true peace and happiness. Once, there was a very wealthy man. He owned vast amounts of property, power, and admiration from others. From a young age, he devoted his heart and soul to making money, always believing that wealth would bring happiness and solve all problems. He paid no attention to his family, friends, or those around him. He thought that as long as he had money, he would always be the winner. But things slowly changed. Although his wealth continued to grow, his loved ones drifted away. His family no longer felt warmth or affection. He was too busy with work, and gradually, family dinners became a thing of the past. Friends distanced themselves as well, for he cared more about profits and numbers than relationships. As time passed, the man began to feel changes in his health. His body was no longer strong as it once was, and he became seriously ill. Meanwhile, the fortune he had accumulated now meant nothing, for it could not buy love, friendship, or health. He sat on his hospital bed, looking out the window, feeling the loneliness closing in. There was no one by his side, and his wealth couldn't fill the emptiness in his heart. In the end, in the final days of his life, he realized that money could not buy true happiness. His greedy actions in the past had left him with irreversible consequences. He recalled the Buddha's teaching, "Mind precedes all things, mind is their chief, they are mind-made." If one speaks or acts with an impure mind, suffering follows like the wheel of the ox cart follows the hoof of the ox. This story is a reminder that in life, the most valuable treasure is not material wealth, but the peace of mind. Only when we let go of greed, anger, and delusion can we find true happiness. The Buddha once taught, the polluted mind will lead to suffering. No one can escape the consequences of their bad deeds. Whether rich or poor, every action plants seeds for the future. In the end, this man realized that money could not buy inner peace.